Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Of Bricks and Dragons. Today, we're working on our Star Trek adventures, and here we have an adventure for us. Just going to kind of dive in here. Captain's log: um, Admiral Nagurda sent orders for the Phoenix Hawk to pick up a group of scientists from Starbase 718. Um, their experience in geology and herbology is needed for Maeris 5. It seems that after a comet had passed about 6 months ago, the farmlands have gone infertile. The hope is that with the Federation's help, we can help um, Marasa 5 become self sufficient again. So we are at Starbase 718, and we are picking up 7 scientists and 7 engineers. The engineers are coming directly from another ship. They're just being offloaded as they're docked at the port, and then they're coming onto our ship. They're bringing along with just themselves as well as a bunch of different cargo for trying to set up some other things. And the scientists apparently need some extra equipment or whatever. Um, The hope is that we can unload them, put them onto the planet after we get things going. We will stay on call until they're set, and then we will leave. That way, if we have to, we can bring more cargo for them for anything else that they may need. Otherwise, we will stay in station around the planet to help them out. Okay, so with that being what it is, a couple hours go by. We get everyone situated. The rooms are all kind of packed. Uh, we have room, I believe, for 10 people on this ship. And I don't remember, well, I know it's like 2 to 10 people. Um, I remember looking at the different setups here. So we have 5 scientists, 7 engineers. So we're actually kind of double booked in rooms. So unfortunately, that means that the crew, Connor Wolf, and then we have Mary Nipton, whatever, uh, Nipson, sorry. Uh, we're actually going to be kind of sharing a bunk, trying to give room for some of the others. Everyone's going to be kind of doubled up here for the short term. Um, and seeing that we're going to be most likely out and about, it's not going to be a big deal. Um, but just making sure that everyone's kind of comfortable as best we can. So we're going to start taking off from there. Looking at my character here, let's see. We are going to take off. That means I will need. Um, shoot, get the ship. Nope, actually, I don't think it's there. Um, get our party screen so I can get our ship. I actually did go through it and I did get our ships taken care of here. So see if we can get our ship brought up here. Oh, come on. Great, now I can't seem to get my ship to want to come up, which is not a good thing. Um, no, I don't want to create an item. Nope, 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 nope. Now I'm messing things up. All right, um, that I don't want. Okay, yes, okay. Here we go. The only problem is I'm trying to get to this, and I don't. We've got our ship here, and I got these ships over here. Now I'm just trying to figure out exactly how we get them. Um, I might have them in here. So let's see if we can find the Phoenix Hawk. And okay, there's the Cody. Um, right. So now I went through and I redid a ship just so I could have it. And now I can't find it in here. Of course, there is a slight chance that maybe Oh. Oh, sure. All right. Well, I'm having issues here. We're gonna start taking off. So you can do that, but I can't. This is still my inexperience because I'm still trying to learn everything. And this is our party sheet. So we have our bridge, our away team. Actually, is it possible for me? And then I close down. Sure, I did. All right. Um, Characters. There we are. Ships. Nope, I don't have the ship listed in there. I was thinking maybe I put it there, but I apparently didn't. Um, I'm sorry. As I'm sitting here fumbling through this and that, and it doesn't really kind of help things out because you would think I would know a little bit better what I'm doing as I'm still trying to fumble through this. Because I figured out I can actually grab ships and I can drag them out of here, so that's how I got our shuttles in there. But now I have our ship in there, and now I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I get it in there? Okay, well, with it being what it is here, as I try to fumble through all this, we are going to go through and we're going to kind of take off here. So I'm going to need, let's see, my con, and it would be probably um, my reason. So I'm going to roll an 11 or better. I get 2, there's a 7, and then I get a 16. So I said 11 or better. Um, and I get the computer to help me with the ship's guidance, and okay, well, okay, so I got 1 out of 2. I was hoping for 2. Um, so let's see, starship piloting. Okay, well, I have starship piloting. I only needed 1. So actually, I'm good. So we take off, we set course for, and I'm this is actually a planet that's named, so um, and looking at it, I could make a very inappropriate name for this, but uh, it's Ma, and then it's a second Eris. And if I look at it, I could probably make a very bad word out of there. We are not going to do that today. So, continuing on. So, it's going to take a couple days to get there as we're traveling along, just trying to keep everything kind of going. Everything's doing good. Uh, kind of meeting the galley. Everyone's kind of eating, just kind of joking, having fun. The ship's controlling or, you know, flying on autopilot. Seeing that here in Star Trek, we can have the ship kind of fly itself as long as we get it going. I'm just, making sure with my rolls that we are definitely plotted in for a good course. So we're kind of eating, and I figure, all right, well, I'll just have my character kind of hang out in the bridge section a little bit more, probably even take a nap in there or whatever if I have to. Mary is our acting doctor and resident scientist, um, or science officer, so we kind of work from there. Uh, one of the, I don't have names for them, but one of the engineers goes off to their room. Well, I mean, everyone kind of breaks up, and engineers and scientists kind of break up, and one of the engineers goes to their room and finds their bunkmate dead in the room. So we are still on track to going, but now we have a murder on our hand, or possible murder on our hand. Um, so now we're trying to figure out exactly what's going on with our passengers here. So we're going to kind of try and roll through here. Who is gone? Who is done what? We do have. Um, well, actually, I did name it. Engineer Brown is discovered as being killed. Um, we have one scientist that was not in the uh, dining hall uh, facility that we have on our ship, which is a small hall, but it's the only big thing that a big area that we have that's not encumbered with cargo or anything else. And you know, there's a suspicion maybe it is this scientist. So we have scientist McFell may have done it. So uh, what we're going to do is we're actually going to lock or assign McFell to stay in quarters, and we will have to kind of lock the door. Of course, we'll let McFell out to get some food because we don't have replicators in our quarters because it is a very small ship and we just don't have that in those quarters. Um, so in that regard, um, a couple hours go by. McPhail is actually still in their quarters, and the problem that we run into is another engineer has actually been found down in the cargo hold, dead. Now, everybody else, as we kind of work this through, and I realize I'm kind of fast tracking this. This is a smaller episode, and I've said I want to keep these a little bit shorter. Um, we're going to kind of work through. Let's see. I need to do a command and probably a reason. So I need an 11. All right, we're going to roll this 10 times. We'll see. So I got to get an 11 or lower. Let's see. We got 1. I got 2. That's 3. I got a 4, 5, 6. Here's 7. Oh my goodness. 8. Okay, 1 fail. And last one, 2 fails. So there's 2 people I'm not certain about. And we'll say for just the lack of anything better, because we're keeping it as a shorter mission, that they were probably bunked together. Um, so now the question is, we have 2 people that we're not certain of, and they were bunked together. So is it a possibility that they had done something that we didn't know? We're going to have Mary kind of check over the second person here. So we're going to do probably a control with the tricorder, either control or reason. And I would say science here, science or medicine. This case, I think science might do a little bit better because if we're looking for a poison or something else. So I'm going to need a 14 or better, or 14 or less. We'll see what she comes up with. And she gets a 3, so she knocks it out of the park. Um, she gets some inconclusive readings here. There's something else going on here. It wasn't a poison. It wasn't anything else. We're going to roll again to try and refine it down to what this could be. And now I get a 2. Um, and I'm using I put medicine in there, so we're kind of using the computers or medicine or whatever. Um, is kind of the reason why I'm only getting 1 success. So just looking at it, it looks as though there is something else with these engineers. So we're going to bring in the other 4 engineers. So let's try and see what we can find here. We have 4 more. We need 11 or lower. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And there's 4. Okay. So I got all 4 successes. So now we have this confirmed. We're going to run it in with the computer. So this would be a good one for our ship. And unfortunately, with me just not having the ship, because usually, they'll say, okay, I have a hypothesis, have the ship kind of double check things. Um, God, I'm really kind of Trying to figure out why I can't find. Nope, that's all modules and stuff like that. That's that stuff. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, that's my characters. So it's not there. It's not going to be in my notes. Our campaign. I should have my ship, and I don't know why I do not. This will just be one of those things I will try and work as hard as I can to try and get this thing going so that way we can find this. Um, Model, Cirrus, Cody. You know what? We're going to use the Cody, I guess, for now. Um, I know this isn't the right one, but we're going to use this for now until we get things figured out. All right. So, probably the computer for an 8, and our science, or you could use medicine, because the computer is going to be kind of going through it. So, we're going to have a 10 or less, and I get a 12. And it gets a second one and a 4. 12 and a 4 to kind of coordinate everything to see how it's all really sitting there. I'm going to say it gets a partial, but this is going to kind of stress something out. So we're going to have something negative here, possibly. Although the way the mission really is written, there is not a lot of negative, and I wrote it open for a reason. I'll explain this all when we're done here. Um, so we're going to the computer's going to kind of give us a readout and let us know that what we do have is we actually have a a parasite that was kind of undetected that the engineers have. So now we have a parasite that killed 2 of them. We need to kind of come up with a way to treat this. Now we're going to get 3 rolls. This is going to be based off of Mary and the ship. So um, again, we're going to use reason to try and reason through a way to combat this. The science part, I would say either science or the medicine, and I'm going to have 3 rolls. I want to get 2 successes out of this. So we're going to, I said, I got a 14 here because I want this a little bit more challenging. There's a 12, there's a 6, so we made that, and then we got a 4. So we kind of got 3 successes, pulled that off. I'm rolling a lot better on this than I do on my pool table. Um, so working through this, we do kind of come up with a way to combat this. So we synthesize this and we're going to put it into a hypo spray and we're going to give all the engineers. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to roll one more time, and I only want 1 success each just to see how the engineers do. So we have 5 engineers in all that we have to roll. Any negatives, this is where our we kind of stressed a little bit. Any negatives, I'm going to say will probably kill off an engineer. So we got 2 positives right there. So that would negate one of the negatives. So we have 2. I need still 3 more successes, and I have 4 rolls. There's 1 negative. Oh, that's not looking good. There's another double. So let's see. There's 4. That's a success. So we should have made everybody A-OK. And then there we are. So everyone kind of comes through this without a problem. Everybody's kind of healed. We're doing pretty good. We still have the 5 scientists. We now have 5 engineers. And we still make our way over to the planet. As I look at the right sheet here, because I wrote this down on a couple different sheets, trying to come up with a good idea. Maaris 5. We get there, um, and the scientists start working away. I'm just going to do a couple rolls for on their part. I do have generic scientist, so that's what I'm going to roll on. Um, remember, I have 5 of them, so I could have 5 rolls. I need 2 successes. These are just NPCs, just straight, just generic characters, and we need to get their reason and a science. So there's a 15 or better. Out of 5 rolls, I need 2 successes. Let's see, we got 1 fail. There's a success right there. So we got 1 good. There's 2 good. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. We got 2 good. Um, so with the comet having gone through, um, this is, they'll kind of determine that this has been the dry season. Even, they've been kind of going through a dry season. So what we really need to do is we need to do something that we can actually do today. You can actually uh, stimulate like rain cloud growth. I've heard that we actually have that ability. Um, I don't know to what extent or whatever, but I've heard it's kind of a feasibility. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to spread that. Um, so that'll be back on Connor here. Um, I have the Starship Piloting. I also have Shipboard Tactical. So either one, however you want to do it, and three rolls because you're going to have the ship trying to help you pilot as well because it has a computer attached to it to try and help figure this out. So I'm going to close our scientist down. Here's our ship. We're going to get 3 rolls. We're looking at um, our control and con. So that's a 13, and I get 3 rolls. I still want 2 successes to make sure that we get it done right. There's 1. There's 2. Okay, so we get it. So we get the rain clouds to go. It starts raining, uh, and then we're going to do this a couple times over. I'm not going to roll repeatedly for this, um, and then we're going to get the scientists back down there. You could stretch this same idea out a little bit more, add some other tensions and stuff like that in there. Um, but things will kind of work out, and everything will kind of work out to being okay. So with that being what it is, we'll drop off the scientists and the engineers, and they're going to work um, with the planetary government to try and make sure everything's good for the long term. They do have extra supplies. Things that we have are like food replicators and stuff like that to help them in the short term. Long term, they will be able to regrow stuff. Um, so all in all, everything kind of works out here. Um, so yeah, the simple idea really is, however you want to do it. I just put it because we're a small ship that we're just kind of overcrowded. Um, but you don't have to. You could just have however big a ship if you want to do this. It's just an idea. If this works out for you for any campaigns you want to do, uh, by all means, go ahead and use it. Um, make up character names if you want or whatever. I mean, I kept it very limited and trying to get different things in here besides just doing combat. Um, so that's really where we are today. We'll take this. We're going to head back to Starbase 117, I believe, because that's where we originally started. When you get the box set, I believe it was 117. I think I just saw that when I was looking through the box set. And then we're going to just kind of go there for our next mission. That's going to conclude today's mission. Like I said, uh, get a couple scientists, a couple engineers. Um, Having a parasite or something like that could be kind of deadly. And if you notice how I did it, they weren't transported, so it really wasn't caught in the buffer. And it's a possibility that maybe they latch on or something like that or whatever, and they were kind of missed in the initial screening, anyways. So if anyone asks you about something like that, there's that idea as well. Um, but to have a possibility of it being a scientist is kind of an intriguing thing. If you want to leave the scientists out of it and just as a mystery of what's happening to these engineers, that's perfectly fine. So um, otherwise, just trying to catch different ideas. That's all this is about. Hopefully, this brings some more fun and entertainment into your own group. Um, I know that this is just an ongoing thing. It's a little bit more of a narrative. I mean, I'm still rolling because I want to keep rolling. Um, we'll get some keep working on the fantasy ground. So hopefully we have some better backgrounds and all that as well. So hope you enjoyed today's adventure. It's not a very long adventure. These aren't meant to be overly long. You can paste them together, throw other things in there as well, make it as long or as short as you need it to be if you do it for yourself. Um, but the idea is, hey, I can have some fun and I can give you guys ideas to maybe give some extra fun to yours. So, with that being said, have a wonderful day. Thank you so very much for joining me on this. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.